Hello, am I audible? Discord पे गया नहीं तो Hello, this is Aniket Anki Sharma from OC. Kindly confirm if I am audible. Am I audible? People present at Discord, kindly confirm if Aniket Kumar is audible to you all.
Guys, am I audible?
Ritika, requesting kindly confirm your voice once more.
Yeah, you're audible. You're audible. Am I audible?
Just a minute. Is Ritika audible to your Discord? Yes, yes. You are clearly audible at Google Meet as well as on Discord.
Okay. Aniket, just inform when to start. Either WhatsApp or text you can leave, or you can just tell your owner when to start.
Ritika and Divanshu, kindly confirm if Aniket Kumar is audible to you.
Yes, audible.
Okay, our chief guest will be joining soon and set the link.
Surely.
Now we are doing forward. Ritika sir is with us. Just a minute. Good morning, everyone. Kindly acknowledge the virtual presence of our chief guest, Air Vice Marshal Rajiv Sharma, Vasisht Sheva Medal, retired. Over to you, Ritika and Dipanshu.
Am I audible to everyone?
Yes, you can go ahead.
Okay. So, Namaskar, Shuprabhat, and a resounding welcome to each and every one of you joining us today.
We greet you from the spiritual soul and the intellectual sanctuary of India, the ageless city of Kashi, and from the hallowed halls of Banaras Hindu University, a place where ideas are born, challenged, and immortalized.
The stage before you is curated by Rhetorica, the debating society of BHU, a crucible where clarity meets conviction and the speech turns into substance. This is where the spark of dissent ignites the flame of dialogue.
And today, we raise that flame higher with Vaagyudh 2.0, not merely an event but an intellectual phenomenon. Vaagyudh, the Sanskrit word that embodies clash of words, captures the spirit of what we are about to witness. A battlefield where intellect is your sword and articulation is your shield.
From Kashmir to Kanyakumari, from Delhi to Dhaka, and beyond the border of the nation, brilliant minds converge virtually, bridging distance to engage in the British parliamentary format, one of the most refined and rigorous form of debate in the world.
This isn't just a debate, it is a collision of worldviews, a festival of perspectives, a storm of ideas where disagreement is a virtue and logic is the only victory. This is Vaagyudh version 2.0, and it is bigger, brainier, and bolder than ever before.
And to mark the formal beginning of the grand intellectual spectre, we are deeply honored to welcome someone whose life exemplifies integrity, courage, and service. Our revered chief guest, Air Vice Marshal Rajiv Sharma, a stalwart of Indian Air Force.
Air Vice Marshal Rajiv Sharma, Vishisht Seva Medal, has recently retired from Indian Air Force from the post of Assistant Chief of the Air Staff Education, wherein he headed the education vertical of Indian Air Force for close to 5 years. A postgraduate in English literature from Agra University. He has done his Masters of Management Studies from Osmania University. He is a fellow of the National Defense Intelligence College, Washington, D.C., in United States of America, and an alumnus of College of Defense Management, Hyderabad. During his service career in Indian Air Force, spanning 35 years, he has tenanted diverse staff and field appointment across the length and breadth of the country. And his expertise lies in educational administration, recruitment and selection, examination system, and training. A proven strategic leader, he has expertly dedicated educational initiatives, forged robust partnership with leading universities and institutions, significantly advanced human resource development activities of the Indian Air Force. He has also domain expertise in counterintelligence and matters of national security. He has commanded Air Force counterintelligence setup, has represented Indian Air Force in national security apparatus, and has undergone training courses in India and abroad. He has been the executive vice chairman of the governing body of Indian Air Force, Educational and Cultural Society, which has 130 Air Force schools functioning pan India with over 55,000 students, 5,000 staff members. In addition, he has been the member of Board of Governor of Kendriya Vidyalaya Sangathan under Ministry of Education, as well as the Selection Committee for Sainik Schools under Ministry of Defence.
And for his outstanding contribution to the service, he has awarded with the commendation by the Chief of the Air Staff on 26 January 2010 and Visist Seva Medal by Honorable President of India on 26 January 2023. Air Vice Marshal Rajiv Sharma is an avid reader and loves to pen down his thoughts as composition in Hindi as well as English. He is married to Mrs. Jyoti Sharma and they have two children. His son is a commissioned officer in Indian Army and daughter is pursuing internship in dentistry.
Sir, your presence lends great strength to our gathering. We are truly privileged to have you inaugurate this celebration of ideas. The stage is yours, sirs. We welcome you.
Thank you very much. I hope I'm audible there.
Yes, sir.
Sorry, sir. Yes.
Okay, I get the nod. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I really do not know as to who all are there listening to me, whether they are the only students and the participants or some of the faculty members also. Nonetheless, my very warm good morning to each and every individual listening to me, which could comprise the distinguished faculty, you, the students, and most importantly, the participating and the passionate debaters. At the outset, I must acknowledge that I'm extremely delighted and truly honored to be invited by a forum that has been encouraging debates, promoting critical thinking, and nurturing the ideas of public speaking. It's indeed a pleasure and with a deep sense of responsibility that I join you today at this meeting of minds where ideas will take flight from the launch pads of voices. My compliment to you all once again, and thanks for inviting me. Ladies and gentlemen,
Thank you.
I'm sure you will agree with me, and for sure have had your own experiences that the present day trend is of headlines and hashtags. The era is full of reels, Insta, and Twitter. We call that X now. With information overload, the attention span is shrinking. The in-shots becoming favorites. Material value is being preferred to the values, and opinion on issues is getting more weightage than the understanding of the issues. And worst of all, our reading habits are on decline. And when I say decline, it is steep decline. The so-called prime time debates, as generally we are getting carried away with, they more resemble as the chaotic shouting matches. And to the extent in some of the channels, we have seen the jostlings also when the panelists get into even the ugly fight. The panelists getting very, very impulsive with constant urge to speak over one another. And social media, when we see the comments, it is flooded with the personal jabs stripped of decency. And all the cause of this, to me, it appears nothing but the lack of appreciation of situation, of personal, of person, of emotions, lack of empathy, lack of understanding, and above all, the capacity to listen, the capacity to observe, the capacity to absorb. If that were not the case, the situation would have been entirely different. There could have been a method, even its madness. There could be a better manner and could be a far better approach of our dealing with situations and personal. So all this, as I have explained to you, underscores the need for we all to think critically and rationally. There is a need for us to debate with clarity and evidence. Even when we disagree, we must disagree with the respect and grace. It is not merely an academic skill of an individual. It is an essential life skill for that individual in particular and the most urgent need for the society at large. And this initiative that you have named Rhetorica, therefore not only fostering intellectual growth of the student and honing their skills, but also helping to shape a better society with responsible citizenry. Once again, my sincere compliments to each and every person associated with this initiative. And ladies and gentlemen, what could be a better place to nurture these skills than the place of Banaras? I call it the 4G city. When I say 4G, the first G is the city of Ghats, the city of Ganga, the city of Gurus. And the fourth G that I have named it, it is now the global city, which happens to be the parliamentary constituency of none other than the Prime Minister himself. It has seen various initiatives over the last 1 decade. The city Banaras has a vibrant legacy of Shastrarth, which we can call it as a debate. We all know the Kashi Shastrarth, when the Dayanand Saraswati had challenged the Pandits to come on the concept of the idol worship. I can name and go on counting these things. And standing tall with pride at the heart of the intellectual tradition is the Banaras Hindu University. The temple of learning itself, founded by Madan Mohan Malviya ji, not alone to teach subjects, but to encourage thinking, to create thought leaders. And I'm aware it is the BHU which has produced countless poets, philosophers, scientists, thought leaders, politicians, philosophers, freedom fighters, who have found their voices from such societies of BHU. Here, there's a judicious mix of the traditions and modernity. This is a city where the questions are also as important as the answers. And the debates like this, discourses, discussions are the way of life. Rhetorica, therefore, is the symbol of this very tradition and encouraging debates, not as a conflict, but as a culture. I really don't know the reasoning and the background of you all naming this competition as the Vaagyudh. It could be more appropriately contest. But now, since you have invited an armed forces officer as a chief guest, so let it be a battle. So it could be the battle of wits. And in this battle, the weapons are the words. And the articulation is the strategy to deploy the weapons. But mind you, the words are more lethal at times than the words. Because if you read it in a reverse direction, the words become sword. So we need to be mindful. We need to be very, very particular when, how, and which word do we use. And this is a battle now when the victory is not in the defeat of the opponent, but the victory is the power of our arguments and the depth of the reasoning. We wish we don't ever get the need to lift the weapon. We only lift the words and the ideas. Based on my experience over past almost 4 decades in dealing with individuals of varying age group, the young and not so young, the students, the employed, not yet employed, situations, both professional and social, I can summarize this in one word. That is what is the need of society today. It's nothing but tact. We all know tact, T-A-C-T. It's a very 4-letter word. T-A-C-T, tact. Tact means the art of conveying something, art of getting the job done, art of driving home the point, but without offending the opponent, without offending the other party. But here, I have coined this tact in a different fashion, which truly and aptly indicates what is debate, what is the characteristic of debate. And here with the T, I mean your thought process. When you think And more so when you think right, and even better when you think critically, you are most likely in all situations going to get a right way of thinking, the right ideas. So when you debate, when you communicate, it is the thought process which is of utmost important. So keep the T in mind always. Be very critical in analysis in your mind. The next is A. And A to me is authenticity. Whatever you speak, you should be authentic. You should have done your research well. You should have done your homework well. Whatever small things do you do, you must take it as your first exercise. When you understand that whatever you're doing and you are putting your heart and soul into this, as if you are doing it for the first time, take it from me, the result is going to be fruitful, desirable, what you had wanted always. So be authentic. Be authentic in your personality. Be authentic in your thought. Be authentic in your expression. Be authentic in your concern with somebody. Be true to yourself. When I say authentic, you must be truthful to the person who you look at when you look into the mirror. Because that is one individual, when you look into the eyes of the person, he or she will know always whether you are authentic or you are a fake. So this A to me is most important, not only in debate, but in our day-to-day life. And then comes C. And the C, generally we go wrong into this. We start commenting. More importantly, in our debates, I have seen it. So here the C is, we should not comment, but we should communicate. We should not be commenting, we should be communicating. Generally, we tend to make a shift into this. While conversing or communicating, we tend to comment when we come to rebuttal. We at times get into or tend to making the below the belt remarks. My suggestions to each and every debater and every individual of your age will be that we must be very, very patient in not commenting, but communicating. You must have seen when we discuss with somebody on some issue, we start competing. When somebody is narrating something to us, we get into competition. No, what is happening to me is much bigger and of more important and value than what you have experienced it. So we get into sort of competition. So communication gets the sideline, and it's a competition that comes in the forefront. So the third aspect that I was telling in the text, it is C. And the last is the T, another T. And T is your tone and the tenacity. It is not what you say. It is how you say. That is more important. I have seen the people having a lot of knowledge, but how the knowledge is best communicated. Your ideas may be the wonderful, the top of the world ideas. But if the idea is the best, but it is not best communicated, the tone, the tenor, the language, the mood, the expression, it has not been taken care of. It is more important. So for me, this tact is the characteristic of your debate, but even at the core of this tact is another word that I will tell you, जो उसकी आत्मा है, वो है talk, TALK, and the talk, and the T is temperament. Generally, it happens. Generally, it happens with the second speaker or the fourth speaker, the fifth or third speaker. We get into the fierce arguments, and that time we forget in the bid and attempt to outnumber or outweigh him. We lose our tempers. So keep the temperament in mind. Next A, you should have the courage to speak. You must be assertive. You got a wonderful idea, but you are very meek in submitting that idea. It will not have the desired impact. And the most important aspect, the most important is the L factor. L. Debate is nothing but communicating. Debate is nothing but interacting. Debate is nothing but transacting the ideas. But in this, it is not alone the speaking. It is the listening. Ladies and gentlemen, students in the faculty, If somebody had asked me and somebody asked me, what is one advice that you will give to somebody? I will say to listen carefully, listen intently. Give somebody time to complete his or her sentence. Generally, we jump over to complete the sentence and we do his or her job also. We presume, we assume. And when we assume that spelling itself says A-S-S-U-M-E, making ass of you and me. We are completing his sentence or her sentence. Let him complete. You listen. Remain silent. And that is why the silent and listen, they have got a similar letters. We must press the pause button that time. We must listen patiently. And when our turn comes, we should only respond, not react. Because when you react, we have not thought. But when you respond, it's a well thought out action. And in the talk, the last K is the knowledge. You should have done your homework well, because it is the facts, the knowledge, which will give you the ground, which will provide you the arsenal, which will provide you the weapons, which will give you the words, which will help you to form the ideas, which will help you to express your ideas. So remember these two words, talk and the tact. Good listeners are good speakers. So press the pause button, assess when not to speak. Today is the time when all the parents have been pushing their children to learn newer languages, more than one language. Hindi aati hai, English seekho. English aati hai, Sanskrit seekho. Pressure. I keep telling that we should know so many languages, but we should also know one language where we can, at the right opportune time, should keep quiet. The language of remaining quiet for some time, that is more important. That this is the very, very essential when you are participating in any debate, that you must listen to the person. Maybe that he is making some remark, give me with your fodder for you in your own turn to come and rebut him. So listen. That is the most important aspects. And remember, when you do your homework well, when you keep your facts with you, you will have to read. Reading at the core of the activity of debating, getting ideas. Once you read, only then can you lead. All good readers are good leaders. Only the readers become leaders. And all good leaders, they're very avid readers. So cultivate the habit of reading, which I told you, the worst hit in today's environment, when the attention span is shrinking, when the in-shots are being preferred to the newspapers and books. Reading, you must cultivate. And I'm happy that this debate is in a way compelling you all to study better, to study more. I have seen all the examples in my own life. I have been a student from Hindi medium. I wish I had opportunity to study in a university like BHU, although I was living in the city called Aligarh, where we have the AMU. So we used to always have here it is AMU, why I am not in BHU, but I could not get the opportunity. Many of you are there. Some of you are from other part of the country that you are taking part in this. But with my experience, I can last summarize whatever I am telling you, the art of debate in 7 C's. We have been hearing right from childhood when we study geography, environment, that the entire world has got 7 C's. But here, a different C's. And the first C is clarity of thought. I'm just summarizing it. Clarity of thought. You should be clear in your thinking. Credibility of contents. Your content should be credible, authentic. Otherwise, you lose that effect. Third C is communicate. And when you communicate, you must maintain the connect. Public speaking is not speaking to public. It is speaking with public. We must be able to win them over. We must have establish a connect with them. And speak with confidence, as if you are the only person knowing everything. The rest all are much lesser than you. When you have this confidence, it will put you in a better state. Fourth is conviction. Sorry. And conviction is nothing but speaking with courage. And the courage of speaking even the unpopular truth. You should have that conviction. If you have come to the debate with run-of-the-mill, your text coming and rattling out, coughing it up, has got no meaning. You must have that power of communication and speaking with conviction. These were the 4 aspects of your preparation and your speaking. Now coming the second aspect of the debate, where you are supposed to rebut. For that, the 5th C is concentration. You must concentrate when you are there. It is not only your turn, you have to speak somewhere. You must concentrate on ideas, because when you go at the end of the debate, it may not be of matter whether it is winning or losing. What ideas you have picked up from there? That one idea, it can change somebody's life, your own life also. So concentrate, listen carefully. It will help you to prepare your rebuttal also. And next C, the challenge, the 6th C. You must be ready with the counter examples. We must be ready with pointing out contradictions. It can only happen when you listen carefully and with concentration. And the last C is one of the most important, is the composer. Remain calm and composed. I remember when I was in the first time public speaking, my hands were shaking. It's quite natural. I was very young then. There was nobody to guide me. हमारे स्कूल में डिबेट नहीं होती थी, बट हमने पार्ट ले लिया था. When I reached the podium, I was really trembling. अंदर से डर था, पता नहीं मैं गलत ना हो जाऊं. What if I mix up? And it is quite natural phenomena. Somebody should guide you. And I'm sure your teachers, your friends, your peers, your seniors, your mentors have prepared you well. And don't get afraid of this. When a person like me, who was first time trembling behind the podium, today I'm talking to you, I have seen 40 years down the line, and I have talked to thousands and thousands and thousands of students like you. I'm telling you with my experience, with a lot of confidence and courage, with a lot of conviction, I'm telling you. This thing is quite natural. It will go away when you start talking to the person in the mirror. He's the best friend. Talk to him. Look into the eyes of the person that you look at in the mirror. He or she will help you. My boss, who's no more now, when I was very young, he gave me one example. I am postgraduate English, as somebody was reading my introduction. But till 12th, I was in Hindi medium. So I am bad in both the sides. I am equally bad or good in Hindi as well as in English. I am an education officer in Air Force, as you are aware now. I have done my tenure and stints in the intelligence setup of the Air Force. So when he was teaching me, he was a good mentor for me. May he find peace wherever he is. My first boss. And every day I was learning something from him. So he told me 5 things. He said, Rajiv, you cannot afford to commit mistakes for 5 aspects, for 5 reasons. And the first reason was that you are an officer. Officers are leaders. And especially in military, they are the military leaders. So you are officer. You cannot afford to commit mistake because you are leading the pack of the people. They look up to you with pride. They look up to you for ideas. They look up to you with suggestions. They look up to you to hold their hands. So what you say, you should be authentic. You cannot commit mistake. You are an officer. Second, he said you are an education officer. पढ़ा लिखा होना है आपको. Because only those who read can lead. Only the good leaders I was telling you can become the good leaders. And all good leaders, they are the fearless leaders. So second, you are an education officer. Third, since I was in intelligence, you are an intelligence officer. Whether you are intelligent or not, but you are working in the intelligence. So because you have to read again. So third aspect was you are an intelligence officer. Fourth, he said you are MA in English. मैंने कहा इंग्लिश छोड़ देते हैं सर, बोले नहीं, you're masters. Well, you are master. When you are master degree, that means you have mastered whatever you are doing. You have a mastery over this. And last, which was more important, which you all also must understand, and if your faculty listening to me, I must put in a point to them. The last one is that he said, 5th is that you are working with me. And to me, I feel that was the most important. So when your teacher is there or you are teaching somebody, it is a duty of the teacher, of you as a mentor, to guide your juniors to be authentic. so that they emulate you. The very fact that today, when he is no more, for last 8 years, I'm still connected with the family. That means that I still value him. Whatever he told me, it has so deeply rooted in me. So remember, I have told you the tact, I have told you the talk. You must walk the talk every day, and the 7 C's. Some points I have written to you. Remember, each one of you are unique here. हम में से कोई 2 एक से नहीं है, एक परिवार के भी एक से नहीं है, ट्विंस भी एक से नहीं है. You are unique, and once you are unique, you bring your unique voices to the fore. Bring that. You are all full of your own ideas, unique ideas, your own voices. So you have the honest responsibility to use that voice with integrity and with authenticity. Use that voice, whether you are for motion or you are against motion. Whether the debate on the topics of ecology, the economics, the psychology, the philosophy, the space, the climate, the politics, the governance immaterial. You must bear in your mind that your words have the power to intimidate or to influence or to inspire. Choice is yours. Whether you want to intimidate or insult your opponent, whether you want to inspire your opponents, or you want to influence your opponent, or you want to inspire your audience. Choice is totally with you. And also remember, in this Vaagyudh, debating is not for temporary purpose of only winning or losing the trophy. You may win, you may not. Material. The participation with conviction, putting up your ideas with force. Words are yours. Nobody can put the words into your mouth. You have to speak yourself. But all this process, forget about winning and losing. It is preparing you to face the challenges of life. When you are in the real life, you cannot live alone. We are the social animal. We have to be part of society. When we are part of society, we need to speak to the people. So when you speak to the people, there is a transition of ideas, how you transact, how you interact, how you communicate, how you have the interpersonal equation. This will be honed from here. The issues that you may debate today, whether ecology, climate, the governance, you are going to face it in the times to come. When you grow in life, when you become the torchbearer, when the country looks up to you, when your strategy work look up to you, today's learning will come very handy for you to handle those challenges. Therefore, the skills that you develop or refine today here, it will shape your perspective. It will shape your personality. It will give you the ability to effectively handle the challenges of future. Debating hones your skills to ask the questions. I feel very bad when I sit in the interviews and the first question, last question in the interview, very important. I'm giving you the tip here. You all in life to come will be facing or conducting interviews. The first and the last question of the chairman of the interview board, I have been a number of times. It's very, very important. The first question generally everybody will ask, and the very 2-word sentence, introduce yourselves. More often than not, almost 80% of the people, they go wrong. They start where they were born, their name, their family, their education, and they stop. To some extent, they will say, okay, my hobby is this. Some will say, I have worked so many places. And they stop. You must understand that interviewer has given you that blank, empty canvas to write. But because we do not have ideas, because somebody did not get the opportunity to get into the debating in the right spirit. So they start fumbling and they stop. Whereas what he is looking for, what are your ideas? How you think about you? Where do you see 5 years hence? So this debating system today will help you to face the real world challenges tomorrow. You will be a better person when you go and face the interview or conduct an interview. You will be able to either get yourself selected, or when you are interviewing, you will be able to select a better person. And the last question that the interview asks, ask anything you want. Generally we say, हमें मकान कहाँ मिलेगा? अगर हम मैरिड हैं, अपनी वाइफ को लेके आएंगे नहीं आएंगे? Sir, can I have a more salary? The question was basically aimed at you to ask whether the job that you are entering will challenge you or not. Will you get the opportunity to think further? Will you have something to critically analyze or critically think? So this is the aspect of debating, this is the sidelines of the debate, these are intangibles of the debate, which you will prepare for a better tomorrow, or face the tomorrow in a better manner. Understand this very clear. I have seen number of B schools, prominent B schools, where number of students, they could not attract the recruiters. I know the researcher who did his job very well, but he could not explain to the people, to the panel, the relevance of what he is doing, because he could not articulate the ideas. He could not think better. Recently, I was in one of the investors meet for some panel discussions, and thereafter there was a people to pitch for. The person could not explain. He had a wonderful concept. He could have made fortunes, but he could not articulate well, because he did not prepare well. He did not structure his thought process, and he lost that. They all knew their matter, but they could not have the ability to show it, to tell it, to convince them and the lead. And even today, remember this, when I'm talking to you, I'm seeing me in you all. I tend to get into comparison, that how lucky you all are that you get the facilities like this today. You have something called Rhetorica, you have a BHU, you have the people with thoughtful mindset. They give you opportunity to stimulate your mind, they challenge you. When you get the opportunity now in your life, as you are doing today, you also must do that. And when I see, and I always try to analyze the energy, the passion, the urge to ask questions from the people. So my only advice to you all, the vibrant member of the society, that do not feel happy or contented with just participation in these debates. Do not feel happy with the research for the sake of your academics or your examination. Continue your research more for yourself. You research yourself, apply these skills in your real-time scenario, raise and speak out on the matters that matter. Platform you will find, big or small, you will decide. You are wise enough. And remember, when you get the opportunity, when you meet any person, you either get a person or you get a lesson. Similarly, in debate, when you enter, you have two opportunities, either to teach or to learn. Do both, and you will grow not only as a speaker, but as a better human being. With this, I come to the end, and I must convey my deepest appreciation for the organizers and each and every individual who has been part of this event organizing and giving the opportunity for youth to express their mind and for them to find their voices. My compliment to the faculty members for being your guide, remaining by your side, for inspiring and igniting you all to shape you better. And last but not the least, and most importantly, you, the debaters, keep asking questions, keep raising voice, keep reading, and keep growing. Thank you, and happy debating. May the minds meet with words echoing far and wide. Jai Hind.
Thank you. Thank you so much, sir, for enlightening us. Your brilliance is the backbone of this tournament. Your stirring words and gracing this platform with a commanding presence inspire us. Thank you so much, sir.
Uh, Every revolution of thoughts needs patrons, and we are grateful to our ever supportive sponsor, D Once More Cafe and Restaurant, located at the heart of Lanka, right across Ravidas Gate. Thank you for fueling not just our minds